Hey, mompreneur, are you running on coffee, passion, and maybe a little chaos? I'm Sandra, founder of Encounter Your Potential, and I know your life is a masterpiece of messy moments and massive goals. This is Power Your Mompreneur Potential. We sit down with CEOs, founders, and fellow moms to steal their best secrets for boosting productivity, conquering mom guilt, and keeping your fire alive in both business and family. Stop surviving and start thriving. Let's get into it. Hello, beautiful people. I am so excited to be back and to be back with another fabulous mom, business owner, multi hyphenate, multi-dimensional, juggling all the things. And I'm excited to get into it, to learn. I'm here to learn as well how to juggle mommyhood. I'm new to it, 2 years in, while juggling the business aspect of things. So today we are joined by Aisha McShaw, and I want to make sure that the pronunciation of the name is correct.
It's
Um,
correct.
yes, we got it.
You
Aisha
got
McShaw is
it.
beautiful, and it's also a conversation starter because it's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Yes. So Aisha, as we get started, I want to take us back to the beginning. You have spent years in the finance space before launching your fashion brand. And I'm curious, what was the moment for you that said, it's time for me to bet on myself?
Oh, wow. Well, I want to say thank you for having me on your podcast. And I'm just happy to be sitting here with you today. But to be honest, I have to be honest, it just life happened for me. And I was going to work one morning and I was in a car accident. A car had ran in the back of me and I was injured. I was home for a couple of months. And that's when I decided to bet on myself because I didn't want to go back to work. I was working in corporate for 11 years. I was feeling a little burnt out. I, was still in though, but feeling burnt out. But I
Right.
knew that I had another purpose and I had something in me. And I always loved fashion. I've always worked in retail, even working in corporate. So at the time, I was buying clothes from a lady at Worth, New York, and she was doing amazing at her job. And I was wondering if I could also do the same thing. I was working in retail part time, so I figured, I could be a wardrobe consultant.
Mhm.
So I asked her, how do I go about applying to become one? And she told me who to call. They hired me. I started doing trunk shows. And that's when I began to bet on myself because I didn't also love their clothes. And I felt like I appreciated working for them and I appreciate selling their clothes to other women. But I knew that I had my own vision and my own ideas. And I knew how I wanted to show up and look. So I started creating clothes for myself. And then I started my brand. And that's when I began to bet on myself. But the car accident also
Mhm.
directed me to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like a pivotal transition point. And
Yes.
I love that you started with like, okay, let's just be honest here because that is just real and that's reality that many
Yes.
times we might find ourselves in spaces and places where we feel stuck. It
Yeah.
works, but it's maybe not exactly where we want to be. I share the same sentiments. I was burnt out, and I call myself a corporate dropout for that because I needed to drop out of corporate because it was no longer serving me well.
Right.
And then slowly figured it out. I didn't have it all together at the time, but it seems like your love for fashion drove you into the business. So tell us more about your fashion brand now.
So I have a fashion brand. I do made to order. So I do custom work. I specialize in tailoring and I specialize in evening wear. I studied on Savile Row for tailoring, and I just love clothes. I just love beautiful fabric. I love putting stuff together. I love making women feel powerful, and and I just love what I do. But fashion has always been embedded in me. Growing up, my grandmother was a fashionista. She had impeccable style. My mom did. I remember going to church with my grandmother and dressing up with her on Sundays. So I think it was just, yeah, embedded in me. Like, it was just part of our lifestyle to dress up, show up when you go outside, always be put together. I think that was just, a part of our family ritual that they, just poured into me. I was the first granddaughter. So, of course, I probably was like their baby doll. They dressed me up. So it was fun. I love dressing up, And
Mhm.
so creating was just part of me, and taking a class in home economics in eighth grade, hand sewing,
Wow.
had just, opened up a whole nother curiosity for me. And I became adventurous, going to school, cutting up my clothes, sewing on things, getting into trouble sometimes, and just expressing myself because
Mhm.
I didn't, at that time also, it was, certain pants didn't fit me. I had long legs. So I would go to school and whatever store my mom would take me to. I love jeans, and so the jeans would fit me like high waters because my
Mhm.
legs
And
was
that
a
was not cool.
and kids with tees, So now I could get creative and
Mhm.
sew on something to the hem of my
Mm.
jeans. So it was that. So I had to be creative. I think by
Mhm.
nature. Um,
Yeah.
Creativity and is embedded in me. Yeah, I come from a family of artists too. My grandfather was an artist, my father was an artist, and so I think I just have it. I just have it in me. I have a
Mhm.
good eye, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And two of the things you mentioned are almost lost arts. So, um, my father is a master tailor. He's
Wow.
80 plus. He is no longer sewing or, curating, but he used to create custom suits. And I just
Wow.
has this like Madison Avenue aesthetic. He has this photo with his leg up, or it's the Park Avenue, which has the little tree lane. So I remember growing up and folks coming over to our home to like get their measurements
Uh-huh.
done, and
Oh my
he would make beautiful
goodness.
suits with awesome patterns.
Oh.
But it's such a lost art. People don't make or don't go for like made to order clothing anymore. Folks are just buying off the rack. So that's a
Well,
lost art form. It's
that
or not as common as before.
is not, and I hope that it comes back. I hope that it's taught in schools.
Mhm.
Having that home economics class just brought a whole nother avenue, like another adventure for me. It made me look outside of what was there and to create. And I think it's important to have that in schools to teach kids early on that they can create what they're wearing, what they see, that anything is possible. So yeah, that art. That's why I went to London to study. But you don't see the tailoring. You don't see that. But I would love to speak to your dad. I would love
Oh,
to like
yeah.
pick his
He still has, like,
brain.
the old school
Oh
sewing
my
machines. He has the
goodness.
2 big
Ah,
bulky ones. He has this
wow.
cabinet that he keeps locked most of the time, with still drawings. He still has, like,
Wow. That's
the figures.
amazing. That's
Mhm.
amazing. I love to hear that. I love
Yes.
that. Yeah.
So, that's one of my curiosities about you, I guess the
Yes.
connection to my father. He had a tailoring business out of Queens, for many years. And then he ended up working at the Metropolitan Museum of Art and then
Wow.
retired from there. So I grew up around someone creating and using their hands to make beautiful things. He used to make my mom's work skirts and
Oh,
her blazers.
I'm sure everyone envied her at work.
With all the beautiful patterns, because you associate patterns with
Yeah.
male suits.
Yes.
And even so, like now, traditionally, men wear black, gray,
Right.
like
Yeah.
they don't have as much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you
Mhm,
travel other places, like I love to travel to Europe sometimes and see
mhm,
the men, they, in their suits, either wearing the plaids, they wearing the stripes, they're wearing bold colors. I think it's important to express that and to not be afraid to wear color and to wear patterns because it's fashion
right,
and you only have
right.
one life. You should wear the beautiful
Mhm.
clothes. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
love that about your dad. Very
Mhm.
impressive. I love
Thank
that.
you. Look at us getting to know each other on this platform.
Yes. I love that. Yes.
Okay, what I also love about your business is made to order means that you're also taking people's sizes. And the other
Yes.
thing that I know is that men can go get a suit, even if they buy a suit from the store off the
Mhm.
rack, they typically get it tailored.
Yes. Yes.
Women, I don't know when this happened, but we don't go to the tailor as often.
Ah,
And part of like showing up your best is clothes that actually fits.
yes.
So
It's so
I grew up
important.
with things being tailored because I have the opposite problem. I'm short. I'm 5'2" and 3/4. Those 3/4 matter. So I had the opposite problem in that things were typically and still to this day too long for me,
Yeah.
and just not built for like my torso and the
Yeah.
proportions. But I love that you are creating that experience for women where they can have things specifically made for them.
Let's just face it, we're not all the same sizes, right? And so if you want your clothes to look good, I don't care if you buy clothes from Zara's, I don't care if you go to
Mhm,
H&M, I don't care where you buy your clothes, they have to fit. The proper fit is important. You're going to feel good, you're going to look good, you're going to show up for that board meeting, you're going to, feel confident. It's important for your clothes to fit good. I don't care what kind of clothes, but it's important for you to have a good tailor. Spend the money on tailoring your clothes. And also, you don't need a lot of clothes. I feel like having a curated wardrobe, not having just like things that don't represent who you are, that you don't feel good in just because it's on the mannequin or on the rack, know what works for you. That outfit that's on a mannequin might not work for you. The color might not work, but
mhm,
again, having your clothes fit right is number one. Having the proper undergarments is also
mm.
important,
Well,
but
we've also moved into a
that's a whole nother
generation where we
story,
don't believe in
right?
undergarments.
But having a good tailor is so
Mhm,
important. All my clothes are tailored, so that's why they look
mhm,
good. Like they're like, where you get that from? And I made it, but even
mhm,
when I make things, I still have to tailor. It's a process, and so that's why I love creating because women come to me in all sizes, and I welcome them because I feel like if you have the money and you are investing in yourself, that means you're investing in your wardrobe, and you're going to these board meetings and these galas and
mhm,
these luncheons, and you don't want to look like everybody that bought at Saks or online, right? You don't want to go into a event wearing the same outfit. You want to come
mhm,
see me so I can
mhm,
create something for you unique and your body measurements, and it just makes you feel good, and I know women go up and down and their weight. And that is something that they express to me all the time. But yet and still, there's ways to go around it where you can get things tailored and still be able to, because our weight, we're women, we fluctuate.
mhm,
I fluctuate in the winter. I'm like maybe 5 or 10 pounds more than my summer. So now I'm getting ready
mhm.
for spring. But I'm just saying,
Right.
like, it happens. That's just the way of life. But clothes have to fit. And that's the most important, put together. And I've been noticing lately that women don't really show up like how they used to show up. There is this just go, getting out the bed and just putting on anything. I just feel
Sweatpants.
like no, I feel like men and women, I feel,
Hmm.
especially sometimes I feel like here in New York, I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
it's,
Hmm.
well, I'm also in Westchester, so I see like the moms who just wear
Hmm.
yoga gear all day, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't know how to operate because even in high school, me and my friends was dressing up. I had one friend that her mom used to buy her suits from Sears. You remember Sears, J.C.
I
Penney's?
do.
Oh
Hmm.
my God. And I go, Annette is my best. Annette, why are you wearing a suit to school? And she would say, because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. And I
Hmm.
picked up that with her, and
Right.
I started stealing my mother's blazers. She had vintage blazers from the thrift store. And I would pair her blazer with a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans and a little flat pair of
Oh, so
shoes.
effortless
And that
chic.
was my outfit in high school. And
Hmm.
my teacher one day said, Aisha, where are you going? And I go,
Hmm.
I'm coming to school. I'm trying to get a good grade in your
Hmm.
class. And that's what made me feel good. So I think it's just, just part of life. I think image is everything. And I
Yeah.
think people should look
Mm-hmm.
good and feel good and put on the outfit, put it on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely am a big believer that it speaks to how you value yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And so two things that come to mind for me as you share. My father, I've never till this day, and I shared with you, I just turned 40. I've never seen him in a
Welcome.
pair of,
Welcome to 40s.
so
Welcome.
far so good.
It gets better,
So far
girl.
so
It gets
good.
better.
I'll keep you all posted.
Okay.
But I've never seen him in a pair of jeans. So he does not believe in denim. His casual pants are khakis. So he's in slacks, or he lived in slacks, and
I
then his
love that.
casual pants are khakis.
I love
And
that because that's what makes him
mhm,
feel good. And again, whatever makes you feel good. So he created a uniform of his
he
own.
did.
That's
Yeah,
his
that was
uniform.
his
And
uniform.
that's what's important, to have a uniform, to know what makes you feel good, the colors that you wear. I see women all the time just buy from the rack, just buy from the mannequin. Or now we have
Mhm,
social media. So whatever
mhm.
she's wearing, maybe I could wear that too. And it doesn't always work that way. Just
No.
knowing who you are at your core, knowing what like looks good on you, the colors, the fit, and being okay with not looking like everybody else, you know what I mean? So I think it's important. But I love that your dad have a uniform. I wish I would have picked that up early on, but part of me going into corporate, to be
Mhm,
honest, I love dressing up. And so it
mhm,
was just like I need a job where I could wear suits. So I worked at Banana Republic for a couple of
mhm,
years because that's when they used to have really nice suits. And so I would work there part time to pay for my clothes. And then I started moving up in the banking world, and then I was able to pay for my own suits. But at the time, it was just like, I want to look good. My first
mhm.
suit my mother bought from a Salvation Army store. It's a limited, I think it was like limited edition at the time, limited.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
a pinstripe suit. I still have the suit to this day. And but it was more so because I wanted to look good. And I remember my boss saying to me, why are you dressed up? I heard this all my life. Why are
Yeah.
you dressed up? You know?
Mhm,
And I go, because I'm coming to work. Don't you want me to feel good?
mhm,
I'm gonna give you my best if I look good. And
mhm.
it used to make me feel a little, and like a little bad about it, like I'm showing off. Or And it was just like, and at the time I wasn't wearing really fancy clothes, but I knew how to put my clothes together. So you didn't know that I got my suit came from Salvation Army, because I
No.
didn't look like it. I put it together. And so that's
Mhm,
the thing too, is not about brands. And so that's why I wanted to create my own brand, because it's not about wearing a certain label. It's about how the clothes just fit on your body, and the nature of the clothes. I think that's important, and so that's what I represent, and that's why I do custom. But this new collection that I am creating, I'm still going to be doing custom, but I'm going to have a direct to sales consumer um, setup where I can have it online, and people can go online to actually purchase a piece. But again, I'll still be doing like made to order because I love it. I love taking measurements. I love picking out different fabrics. I get my fabrics from all over. So,
Mm.
the finest of the finest cloth.
But
So,
of course.
yes, and I
Mhm.
can't wait to fit you
Mhm. Yes, yes.
soon. Yes,
I
yes.
love that. And a great takeaway that I just want to highlight is that a good fit is could be more rich than a designer label.
That's right. That's right. It's not always about a designer. And what drives
Mhm.
me crazy is when I see someone in head to toe in a label.
Mhm.
It's
The
just,
loud monograms.
oh, I hate them.
Mhm.
I
Because you
hate
can
them.
also be
Oh,
silent in the luxury, or you can be loud
you could.
in having everyone know what it is.
Yes, yes. And
Mhm.
I've never dressed that way. Like I don't even if I wear like one of my bags, I love Chanel, right?
Mhm.
And so sometimes I even like when I go someplace, I don't really like to show that I have the name. But the monograms I've never liked that. I
Mhm.
remember seeing this woman, she had the Gucci shirt, the Gucci pants, the Gucci,
Mhm.
everything. I was just like, are you a spokesperson for
Mhm.
Gucci?
Yeah. Are
Did
they
they
paying you
hire
for it?
you? Are they
Mhm.
paying you for it? I don't know. That has never been my style. Again, my grandmother, she had great style, and I never saw her in brands, but she looked like she had a lot of money, and then she didn't
Mhm.
have a lot of money at all, but the
Mhm.
way she put herself together, she
And
looked like
carried
she had
herself, I'm sure.
class and
Mhm.
money, and I think that's important. And by far, if you love Gucci or you love
Mhm.
monograms, do it. I just say don't do it all together, just do one
Correct.
one or
Right,
the
right.
other, right? Just
Mhm.
wear one piece, but not head to toe. That is not style. That is not, yeah, that is not style
Right.
at
Because
all.
for the
Yeah.
record, I definitely have a few monogram pieces, but I'll be sure not to wear all of them at the same
Yes,
time.
yes, yes. You can, no, it's fine because you might love a brand and
Mhm.
someone, but don't wear them all the time. No, no. I'm gonna
Right,
say,
yeah.
Sandra, what are you doing,
Mhm.
girl?
Right, right, right,
I'll be
right.
calling you up. Hey
This would not be
girl.
Aisha
Hey girl.
approved. What you're doing. So the other art form that you mentioned earlier is getting dressed on Sunday for church.
Yes.
And so of course my father and my mom had to come together on a few things that they shared values on, but one of those things is how you show up and how you present. And I think that's also a part of being a part of a Hispanic family for us, is that there was great pride in how you show up because you represent yourself in that first impression.
Yep.
So going to church was something I look forward to. When I was younger, not for the word, but because I got to dress up.
Yes.
And I wore uniform throughout the week. So just being able to express myself and feel very pretty for me was something that I looked forward to on a Sunday. And that is a lost art form as well, because now folks are very casual going to church.
Very casual. I had a conversation with one of my friends last weekend, and she was telling me how she started going casual and then she switched it. So now she dresses up. And I was like, your grandmother, she had lost her grandmother. And I said, your grandmother must be looking down at you saying, girl, what are you doing? Because you can't go to church
Mhm.
casual. I mean,
That's not how we
yes,
raised you. Mhm.
it's like you put something on. You don't have to wear the hat and look glamorous, but put yourself together. I feel like the art of putting yourself together, or the black excellence. I feel like
Mhm.
that has sometimes we have lost that of, if we think back at our ancestors that was didn't have the money to put on. They made their own clothes, but they still, during the slavery, they still put together. They went to church and they put themselves together. And I think it's important for us to continue to do that. And especially at church, you're going to you know, you're gonna go praise God. I think God would want you to look good and represent and put on your best, right? Not going there to outshine people or wearing your sequins. But I think it should be a uniform at church, because sometimes when I go now, I see people and I go, come on. Like, I mean, clothes are like I said, again, you don't have to wear a brand to look good. You have Marshalls, you have Target, you have so many clothes outlets that you can put yourself together and you can look like you're $1 million. So there's no excuse. I think it's our job to look right, to be presentable, and especially at church, where that is where we're getting our fuel. That's where, we're getting our blessings. And to show up for God, I think you should show up at your best. I think
Yeah.
that's just like a no-brainer. Like, you just show up. You just don't wear jeans to church. And I guess some people
But you
do that,
respect
but
the
I feel
art
like
form.
even if you do wear jeans, look presentable, okay? Like, whatever you wear, just, look presentable. And women, don't look like you're going to a club, going to church. No, you should not be wearing mini skirts to church. That is a distraction. You going there to
For something else.
praise God, right?
Mhm.
And so I see this. And I'm sure all the older women are like, where is she going? Or the tight dresses, the body contouring dresses. I don't believe that that's for church. I just feel like you should look presentable. And I feel like you should be classy always. And that is my saying, stay classy. I always say stay classy.
Oh, so
Stay
that's the
classy.
thing.
That is my motto. Just stay
Yeah, stay
classy.
classy.
Yes, yes,
That is going to be the title
yes.
of this episode.
Stay
Stay
classy. Stay
classy.
classy.
Yeah, I might have to change it to keep it classy.
Keep it classy,
Because
right?
you may have never been. Okay, let's not go there. So what I'm learning from you is that you respect and value the art form of getting dressed, and you also value clothes and the power that there is in clothes. As someone who 2 years out, motherhood changes your body, pregnancy changes your body. And afterwards, I could not fit into my beautiful clothes. And that was a very fuzzy time period where you almost don't want to go out. And for me, I just refused to go a size up. So, as someone who is in this space and you encourage for people to stay classy, what would you say to moms who are in that transitional period of not feeling their best, maybe hiding out a little bit because they're not feeling their best? And it's not just the winter weight, and this winter was
Right.
rough.
Mhm.
What do you say as someone who is in the business of showing up in a way that you are proud of?
I would say, again, when I had my daughter at 23, but I remember not loving my body at all. Like, I didn't like my body at all. My body had changed. But I think that, I think the moms have to look within. I think, even though your body has changed, I think that you have to get to know your body again. All right. This is like a reintroduction for you to get to know
Yes.
your body, right?
Mhm.
So maybe your hips was a little smaller, maybe they're nice and fuller now. And, like accepting your body the way it is. But I also feel like the proper workout is important. So I tell my clients, you're buying a custom suit for me, so you're spending money, you're investing in this suit. I want you to be able to wear it forever. Yes, I say forever because you're
Mm-hmm.
investing in it.
Yeah.
So there, there is you gotta eat right. You gotta know when to put down the ice cream. You gotta know you have to have a balance. So you have to be on a healthy regimen. I think you have to eat right. You have to work out. Being after being a mom, your body changes. So you definitely have to work out. You got to hit. I don't. I do yoga. I do Pilates. I even added strength training,
Mm-hmm.
weights to my
Critical. Mm-hmm.
workouts because as you get older, you lose the muscle mass. So I'm doing all these creative things, and if you're a parent, you're running around with your kids, so that's a good thing. But that's not just it. You have to work your body, and you have to have a healthy lifestyle. So I feel like for me, it's been a healthy lifestyle because I spend so much money on my wardrobe. I'm investing, and I would cry if I can't get into my suit because that's
Mm-hmm.
important. So you got to know what's important for you. But I think just getting to know your body again and owning it, like loving your curves, loving the curves, and eating healthy, working out and investing in your wardrobe and just trying to balance that. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
that's really important. But yeah.
Yeah, so you are more than a fashion designer. You're also giving life lessons because there's a
Well,
life lesson in there.
it just works for me. You say you just hit I'm welcoming you into the 40s, right? So I'm in my 40s. And so I wish someone would have told me what I know now, to love your body, right?
Right.
To know that your body is not going to be the same as it was when you were 20, but you can still work. You don't have to give up. You can still
Mhm.
work it out. Like I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life than I've ever been in my
Amen. I
20s,
love
right? And
that.
but it takes work. It takes,
Yeah.
people don't see the work, because by nature, I'm not just naturally how I am.
Mhm.
I do the work, to get the
Mhm.
results, you have to do the work. And
Yeah.
so
But that
as
is why I love
yeah,
having these conversations
yeah.
because you are an individual that someone will see at the galas.
Right. And they're like,
Um,
oh, she's naturally, oh, she must been
she's
born like
blessed.
that, right?
She's blessed, right? But these conversations are so
Yeah.
important because
Yeah.
I know there's intentionality behind
Yeah.
how you show up. And I
Yeah.
know as someone who shows up often in front of groups of people that I need to work out because that impacts my confidence. If
Yes.
I am feeling sloppy, then I won't show up to my best or as my best. So there is a lot of behind the scenes that's happening in order for, I know, many women to show up. And I think it's important that we share that with one another because other people are thinking you just have the best
Right.
genes possible.
Well, I watch people on Instagram and their stories or their posts is all, everything is just so fabulous. Like, and it's like, well, tell me some highlights that's not fabulous. Like I want to know, like, how did you get there? Because
Mhm.
nothing is just perfect, right? So everything takes work. If you want anything out of life, it takes hard work, and working on yourself is the first thing that you have to work on. Like working on, it's not the external stuff, because I used to always, external, like being places and wanting to you know, be in the right rooms or whatever. But I think it's so, like, even working out on yourself, it gives you that inner confidence that no one can take from you. That's so important, having that inner confidence and just like knowing who you are. And when you know who you are and you're doing all the things and you're showing up, you're powerful. Like you're grounded, you're powerful in your own right. And I think that's very important to
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
stay working on yourself. For
Mhm.
me, I'm evolving. I feel like I'm evolving every day, becoming, I think, as just not me, but all women, we are all becoming. Like you're becoming, you just had a child, you're glowing and becoming,
I'll
and
receive it.
and doing doing a hard thing, and this world, with all the chaos, and that's why I do fashion, because I love to step away from it, and to just
Being your zone of
create
genius, it
things
seems like.
beautiful, because and to make people feel good. I think
Mhm.
that's just who I am by nature. I love making people feel good.
Mhm.
um,
So you
yeah.
talked a bit about, we know that people love to show and share the highlight reel.
Yes,
Everyone is
yes,
perfect.
yes.
And I can get stuck in that world as well. I kickbox at least 2 days out of the week, but I am not showing anyone what I look like.
I
Going to or after kickboxing, but maybe I should.
know, I know,
We'll
I know.
consider, we'll see. But motherhood itself can be messy.
Yes.
Finding ourselves in this new form can be messy. And you shared that you're ever evolving. I'm definitely evolving. Is there a moment that is messy in motherhood for you that you feel comfortable showing and sharing with us where it wasn't
Mhm.
also perfect?
Oh my God. So many moments, girl. So many moments.
I can
So,
imagine. I was up. I've been up since 4 a.m., by the way, because
wow.
my dear child decided that
Yeah.
was the time to wake up
Yeah.
today.
So many moments. I think early on, my moment was, and I guess I feel a little guilty by not being there all the time for my daughter.
Mhm.
And I think that is probably something that I used to struggle with, but now I realize that, she's okay and I couldn't be there all the time. We had a conversation the other day, and she was like, not the other day, it was a couple months, but she was like, you didn't come to all my games. When I
Mhm.
was growing up, and I said, you know what? I'm sorry, Layla. I could not come to all your games. But I think that we have to give, as mothers, we have to give ourselves grace, because we can't do everything. And having a good support system like I did, I was blessed to have. But being a mom, there was so many moments, not being able to go to her games, not being one of the PTA parents.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, not yeah, I think that was mainly it, not being there all the time for her and not being present. I remember we were on a trip, and we were it was an island, and I had got my hair done, and I knew I was like having to go to an event like a couple of days, so I didn't want to get it wet. And so my daughter is playing in the at the beach, like she's in the water,
Just
we're at
being a
the
kid.
beach, she's being a
Mhm.
kid, and I was not being present. And I was just like sitting, like laying down. I didn't want to get in the water. And I wish I can go back to that time to get in the water with her and just let my hair get wet and be more present. So I think being more present, showing up more for her, and I guess listening more to her, and not
Well,
just
she
being a
turned out so
provider.
well.
Oh
She
my
is
goodness.
beautiful. So,
Well, it
and
took
I,
a village. It took a
mhm,
village. It took a village,
mhm,
but I am very proud of Miss Layla. She is my best friend, and she's my worst critic. I tell everyone.
perfect.
And we're like fire and water. She's a Virgo, and I'm a Pisces. So we have. I feel like she was definitely meant to be my daughter.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
God
yeah,
knows. God
yeah.
knows. God's plan,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes. Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for the vulnerability in that, because we have lives, and then we introduce these little people into our lives that grow up to be, big people and adults of their own. But one of the things that I would often share with my husband is he didn't ask to be here. We
That's
brought
right.
him here. So he's now our responsibility, and I can't check out of this motherhood thing. He's
No,
mine.
no, not at
He
all.
is
Not at all.
mine.
Yeah, not at
Yes.
all. And
So
that's
does
what
she
my
share?
Yes, that's one of the things that my
Hmm.
daughter tells me all the time. She says, You brought me into this world. I didn't ask to be here." So when we go at it sometimes, she goes, "I didn't ask to be here. You
Hmm.
shouldn't have had me. You have a
Lord.
daughter."
Hmm.
Like, that's what
These
she
these
says to
these
me.
people, these
She's
young
super
people.
right. So you're right.
Hmm.
Having a child is a commitment. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world
Hmm.
that I don't think most parents, mothers, get enough
Hmm.
credit for.
Do not.
It's the hardest job. So,
Hmm.
and you gotta be creative. I think part of my creativity came from being a mom.
Hmm.
Growing up with a single mom, and then I became a single mom by choice.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that yeah, it's just yeah.
So when you think about yourself today, and you've talked about how at different moments of your life you stepped into your power by walking away from corporate, by choosing to become a single mother, for example. So when you walk into a room today, who are you? Are you designer? Are you CEO? Are you mother? Who do you want the world to know
Oh
you
my
as?
goodness. So I'm mom always. I can never take that title away. Well, now sometimes I call her my sister when we're out, but I'm
You
still
you look like
mom.
sisters. You look like
I'm
sisters.
mom. Um, I'm mom. I am, I'm a friend. I'm a good friend. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a CEO. I'm a designer. I am grounded. I am peace. I am loving. I am all those things. I am a woman becoming. There's no limits to who I am. I'm free. I'm life. Yeah, there's so many. I get emotional. We're Pisces, so it's
Oh,
just like
yes,
I could go on
emotional
and on and on and
creatures.
on.
Right.
But yeah, I am a woman becoming. I'm
Mhm,
becoming, always evolving, always learning, always being my better self and grounded. Yes.
I
And
love
doing
that.
everything intentional with purpose.
Mhm,
So I think that is how I move and how I show up. And I'm very intentional on how I show up now these days. Because I know that, it's important to move with purpose and intention. So,
mhm,
yeah, and being
mhm,
aligned to what's for you. Because the work that I do, I can't be distracted. I'm designing. So, I have to have time carved out for me. And as a Pisces, I spend a lot of alone time, even though I have to go out and go to all
mhm,
these events. I make sure I get back to my
mhm.
home and just, yeah, be at peace
And recharge, because
and
we need that.
recharge
We
and
need the
create and be
recharge.
able to create
Mhm,
in a purposeful way.
mhm.
And yeah.
Well, thank you. As someone who has shared that you are very intentional and you align with purpose, I am grateful that you said yes to sharing time and space with me and to this community that really needs to hear from women like you. So, one final question for you.
Mhm.
If you could whisper one thing to the mom who is maybe stuck, feeling
Mhm.
discouraged, not seeing a path forward, not seeing a bright light right now, what would you say to that mom looking to maybe break out of a funk or break out of a
Yeah.
stuck moment?
I would say get still. I
Mhm.
would say start with getting still. I would say keep going. Keep going. Whatever that dream is not too late. I would say, just don't stop. Don't stop. Believe in yourself. Keep believing in yourself and get around people who will support your passions, your dreams, your visions, because having the right people around you is very important. But I feel like getting still. so that way you can reassess what you need to do, having a plan, being strategic about it. But if you have a dream, I feel like it's important to fulfill that dream. I feel like we get one life. And so, there's so many people that's at the graveyard that wanted to follow their dreams, right? And then so it's like we get a chance every day to wake up. And being a mom and following dreams is really hard. You need help. You need a support group, whether you need an
It's
investor,
necessary.
you need people who is going to back you and see your dreams. So you can't be distracted with people that don't see your dreams. So
And suck energy and time.
you have to spend your time wisely, and you have to just go after it. Go after what you want. I think is so important. But believing in yourself and knowing that you can fulfill your dreams is very important. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that will land on
Yes.
someone. So
Yes.
thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing yourself. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for aligning yourself with the Power Your Mompreneur Potential community. I am grateful. I loved our conversation, and we Pisces need to sit down now
Oh my
for a
God.
lunch
Oh my
and a
God.
cocktail.
We're so overdue. And
Beyond.
I'm gonna bring my measuring tape and I'm
Oh.
gonna measure
Hmm.
you. We're gonna get you right for the spring, girl, because I know you got so
Hmm.
many places to go. So
I
I'm
do.
looking forward. But
Hmm.
thank you for having me. I hope that I had, shared some light, and I'm
So
looking
much.
forward to doing this again. Or
Yes.
maybe some
And we
cocktails at night. I feel like we need some wine or something. I
I
don't know.
think so. And can I just tell
Yeah.
you, your
Or
energy is
dress up, or
so
maybe dress up. Like, could we do like a dress up
I love a dress up
contest?
moment. I love a
Right?
good excuse to dress up. I'm team extra, team overdressed. So
Hey.
absolutely, I'm saying yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank
And your
you.
spirit is so calming. So I need
Oh,
more of the calm spirit around me.
well,
So
we're Pisces, and I didn't even know you were a Pisces, but I should have known. I should have known.
yes, March 1st, March 1st,
So
Pisces.
we have to do a Pisces party. I think I'm gonna continue doing this Pisces party every year.
Oh,
I
that's
think
such a good
it's
idea.
yes, just gather
Mhm.
up all the Pisces because we are like the best. We're like the
I
best
mean,
people,
I'm not biased, but
right?
I am biased. I would
Right?
agree.
Like, I didn't always think that way, but I'm like, wow, we're so powerful.
Well, we tend to get along with many people. There are very few people we don't get along with.
You know what? For me, I
Mhm,
get along with everyone. Everyone.
mhm.
I just know how to keep them away, though. I love people from a
And
distance.
that
Like,
too,
oh, like you, hi, yeah,
from
hi.
afar.
Right from afar. That's what we do. All
Exactly.
right. Well, it was a pleasure, and we'll
Yes,
we'll
thank
do
you.
this again.
We shall. We will. We'll be back. We'll be
Okay,
back
we
for
will be
sure.
back. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
If you found this advice helpful, give this video a thumbs up and drop your biggest takeaway in the comments below.